Okay, well, coughs and sneezes spread diseases. We all know that, but that's especially true in young families. So over the next few weeks, mum and infectious diseases physician Linny Fwong will share her own knowledge and expertise starting today by offering her take on the question so many of us ask, why do my kids get sick so often? Linny, good morning.
Hi, guys.
Wow, the
big
question
to answer, isn't it? Big question to begin with.
Why do some kids, they just seem to catch every single bug going around? Is it bad luck or what is it?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. I mean, I think firstly, just it's an exciting time, but it's also a very daunting time, particularly for those parents who have kids that are entering daycare or kindergarten for the first time. And I think it's sort of worth being aware of, you know, the fact that they are going to be juggling, you know, lots of parents are juggling home life, work life, and then the sick kids. And so when it comes down to, you know, is my child getting sick all the time? What we know is that children on average get 6 to 8 infections per year. Okay. And then with further risk factors like entering daycare, it can be anywhere up to 12 infections per year. So sometimes it does actually feel like they're more often out of daycare or kinder than they're not. And, you know, we experienced that with our little girl when we put her in at 5 months of age. And so unfortunately, it's a little bit of riding the wave to begin with. There are 2 main reasons for this. The first is obviously an immature immune system. So obviously children are being exposed to things for the first time, so there's new bacteria, new viruses, and they're in a new environment. And then the second thing is obviously kids, you know, toddlers don't have the best hygiene. So you can imagine they're putting everything in their mouths, they're drooling, they're like playing, they're kind of on the floor, exactly, getting into everything. So, you know, there's a little bit of that as well. So
Linny, what can, you know, parents and carers do then? How do you build up a kid's immune system?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a question that we're asked all the time in clinic, and I think the first thing is just to be aware that there is some really simple stuff that you can do. So often there are things that parents are already doing. So, you know, making sure that their child has enough sleep, gets good nutrition in terms of healthy fruit, vegetables, protein, so that they are sort of building their body and strengthen immune systems, making sure that they are washing their hands. You know, hygiene is such a big deal, and, you know, it cannot be underestimated. The other things are, you know, keeping up with sort of drinking water during the day, physical activity and outdoor play in terms of that vitamin D and that boosting to the immune system as well. So stuff that kind of most of us are doing, and then there's, you know, obviously vaccination as well.
Interesting, vitamin D as well.
Vitamin D, absolutely. Get some sun.
Linny, you talked about it just then with hygiene, but with kids that can be really hard and hard to get them into the habit. I mean, I know we saw with COVID, you know, there was the sing happy birthday while you're washing your hands, but how can you create habits in kids?
Oh my gosh, I love this question. I think firstly, we have to be realistic, and I say that with, just through the fact that, you know, with our little girl, it took so long to get her into regular baths, and so you've got to be realistic about what your expectations are. But certainly what we do is we try and build habits. So it's things like making sure that you're reinforcing things like hand washing, cough and sneeze etiquette, you know, sneezing into your elbow, throwing out your tissues, making sure that, you know, easier said than done in some cases, making sure that you are sort of role modelling as well what you do. So, you know, washing your hands before you eat, washing hands when you come in or after play, after, you know, going to the bathroom.
What about vaccinations as well?
Yeah, so vaccinations are critical in all of this. So essentially what we're doing is we're trying to train the immune system. So as I said, you know, these children have really immature immune systems. They haven't seen everything. And this applies to older adolescents as well. So what we are doing is we're providing kids with, you know, common childhood illnesses, which used to be more common. And essentially we're training their immune system so that the next time they are exposed to the bacteria or the virus, their body is ready to sort of get on there and respond, and hopefully decrease any sort of serious complications. So it's all sort of part of that big package of the way that you try and keep your kids well. But yeah, sometimes that balance is quite challenging.
Yeah, for sure.
Challenging, very good advice though.
Yeah, I think realistic expectations, that's probably a good one. Hey Linny, thanks for coming in, and we look forward to the next time we chat about this series again. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you. Thanks guys.
Well, conservationists are calling for WA